Hello, my friends. I hope you are well. Today is the first lesson from Lua or Luao programming language series. First of all, it's not bad to mention that there is not any edit in my video. It means that there is not any cut, and actually I try to just record the whole of video in one shot without any cut and without any edit. Okay. So, because there is another series, if you follow my YouTube channel, you know that there is a actually Roblox Studio project series, but I think it's not bad to have a separate Lua programming language series for people who are not familiar with the Roblox Studio. The Roblox Studio is a really useful engine if you like to make some fast gaming prototype. But to work with Roblox Studio, this is necessary to understand the Lua programming language, at least in the basic level or a little bit intermediate level for some basic games. So this is a Lua programming language series, and this is the lesson one. We want to start with variables, reference object, and properties. Okay, let's start. And here I'm in the Roblox Studio, and yeah, this is the Pi for Roblox Studio. To start, we need to have a script here, and let's create a script, and you can actually name it, for example, lesson one or anything you like. Okay, so this is our lesson one. The first thing I like to mention that there are some pre-built function in Lua programming language. For example, print. So, for example, if you like to print your name, usually you can say print, and then, for example, my name is Pejman. Okay, and after that, you can actually easily change the run to the option to run. It means I don't like to see my character in Roblox now. Just I like to run code. So just run it, and you can see my name is Pejman is actually display here. So let's back to the code again, and let's clean this one. Another pre-built function that can be practical is warn function. For example, you can say warn, and you can say this is a one message. Okay, again, just execute, and you can see the color is different because it's a one message, so the color is orange or I don't know, yellow. Okay, so but let's start with variable. Let me make comment this one. Okay, so we want to talk about the variables in Lua. To define a variable in Lua programming language, we use a keyword that is local. For example, local name, when you want to define a name, you can say local name and my name Pejman, okay? Or you can say local age, and it can be, for example, I don't know, 29 or anything, okay? Or local is continue. You can define a variable that is Boolean, for example, true, or it can be false, okay? So we have different kinds of data type here. For example, Pejman is a string type. We will talk more about data type in the future. And 29 is an integer format. And true here is a Boolean data type, okay? So this is the way we can actually define a variable inside of the Lua. Just use the keyword of the local and the variable name and equal to the value you need. So that's all about variable, not complicated, yeah. Let's talk about referencing to object. And what does it mean? Let's back to the Pi session here. For example, if I create a part here, something like this is a part inside of the Roblox Studio. You can see this is a part. Even you can actually change the name, and definitely we can create this part with instance, but this is not our topic today. I want to show you how you can actually reference this part inside of your code. And you can see here this part has different attributes. And for example, the brick color, the color, material, transparency. For example, if you check the transparency to 0.5, you can see uh, we have different kinds of display here, and it's a little bit blurred now, yeah. Or let me back it to 0 again. Or for example, about material, you can actually change it to, for example, neon, and it's more shiny, you can see. And again, let's back it to, for example, I don't know, wood. Yeah, it can be different, you can see. So these are the different kinds of materials in Roblox Studio. Or even you can change the color here. But what if I like to do all of this with code and not from this properties window? So first of all, how to provide reference. So referencing and objects. Uh, Actually, there are two ways we can reference an object. So we have part here. Just first of all, keep in mind, we will work inside of the workplace. It means that everything inside of this workplace is a child of workplace. And workspace is a parent here, okay? So workspace is a parent for camera, train, our lesson one script, and the part object. So we can say the part object and lesson one scripts are children of the workspace. So we have two ways. The first way, the solution one, this is maybe a little bit easier. We can say, for example, local part or local my part, the part I've created, it's game, workspace, and then part. Okay, let's check that. Everything inside of Roblox is children of the game. So we have game and then we have workspace, players, like so workspace, player, lighting, material, every service you can see here are children of the game. So we need to say game, after game, workspace, and after workspace we have part. Okay, so you can guess that, for example, if we had something inside of the part, for example, explosion, just for example, and we like to get a reference to explosion, we need to say game, workspace, part, dot, explosion. Okay, so this is the first way. And the next solution is we can use our script. So solution 2. For solution 2, I can say local again, for example, my part. In this case, we start with our script. So we are here, the script. I can say a script, and then the parent of a script is workspace. So script parent, and then from the parent, we have access to all children. For example, camera, train, and part specifically. So again, let me check what happened here. In this solution, we started from our script. So we are here. And what is the parent of our script? It's workspace. And what are the children of our workspace? Camera, train, lesson one, and specifically part. So it doesn't matter which one do you prefer. I usually use this way, but in some cases, that's good to use script. But it's up to you. You can actually select everyone you're more comfortable with that. Okay. So this is about the referencing a part. Okay, let's again just keep one of them. For example, here, this one, and let's make comment this one. So here I just have my part. So I just provide a reference to my part. But I like to change something about this part, and I like to see that inside of my part. So how can I actually change that? Let's try some of them. So I like when I start to run, first of all, I like to see a little bit of wait because I like to see how that changed. For example, 2 seconds wait, okay? After that, I like to change, for example, the color of my part. I can say my part and then color. I like to change the color. So I can use the color tree. Okay, so I can say color tree, new, and a new color. You can actually define a random color. I will show you in a second. But if you can actually prefer the simplest way, you can actually select the color here, like this. Okay, so this color is RGB format. So my part color is color tree, new, and a new color here. Okay, again, I like to wait for 2 seconds. And for example, I like to change the size of my part. I can say my part and size, and because the size again has three elements, X, Y, Z, I need to use here vector tree. In Roblox Studio, in actually Lua programming language, when you need to define something with three values, like a 3D object, you need to define X, Y, and Z. And again, vector tree, new, and for example, I like to see tree, tree, and tree. It can be a cube, okay? So again, just for review, for define the color, I use the color tree new. To define the size, I use vector tree new. And let's change the transparency as well. Again, wait for 2 seconds, and I can say my part transparency, and for example, 0.7. Okay, and again, I like to wait for example, 1 second, and I like to change the material. I can say my part and then material, and the material type is enum type inside of the Roblox Studio. I can say enum material, and for example, wood, neon, and anything you like. For example, in this case, I prefer the neon. So let's see what happened here, and I back to here again. So just run, and just keep in mind it's better to keep it in the run format because we are not making game now. So it's better to keep the run format, okay? So 1, 2, you can see the color is changed. 1, 2, the size is changed. Good. And here we had a problem with the okay, because the problem is actually the workspace lesson attempt to call a number value. Let's check what is our actually error here, okay? So, the transparency, I guess the transparency had a problem here. The transparency, my part transparency. Let's change it. Let's put it later. Don't need it now. And it's not important now. But we'll be back to transparency, okay? But I like to show you the neon first. Okay, the color is changed, the size is changed, and the neon. And I like to change the position as well because you can see the position is not good. It's inside of our ground. So let's change the position here after making the variable. I like to change the position. I can say my part position, and again because it's a xyz, you can use the vector tree. And the new, I like to put the position this let's check what is the current position. The current position is, I like to keep the x and z, just change the y. The current position, you can check here. Okay, even I can actually copy this one and put here, but I like to change this one, and I would like to see, for example, 2. Okay, And because I don't like the part fall, I like to make this part anchor. What does it mean? It means that I don't like to follow the physics for this part. So the anchor is true. Okay. So let's, here you can see this is the part change and the size, and that's no. Great. That works. And just one more thing about anchor. For example, if you create a part here, for example, create a part here and change the movement of the part, if you put the part anchor, it means that it can stay even uh, in this position without following the rules about physics, okay? But when you put the anchor fast, when you start the game, the part fall on the ground, okay? Just keep in mind about the anchor. Okay, let's back to the transparency. We had a transparency here, and you can see transparency start from 0, transparency. Okay, so the problem we had was, let's check again, wait 1 second. For my part, my mistake was I used transparency in this way. This is wrong. For transparency, we need to put it equal to something like, okay, 0.5. That seems good. Okay, so let's start again. You can see, let's start, change the color. Yeah, good. Neon. And you can see the transparency is changed. Okay, so if you go inside of that, you can see we have some less transparency. Okay, so good. Uh, that's all about referencing and about attributes. Definitely, we have more attributes, and if you check the part, you can actually click on that, and you can check the brick color as well. We can change the reflectance, and even we can change the name of the part. We can use C-frame. I will explain it in the next sessions. And we have collision. It means that can you actually collide this part or not? And anchor, I just explained the anchor before, and different things like shapes. It can be, for example, block. It can be sphere, and others for other things. For example, we have cylinder here and wedge. So we have different things here for attributes. You can actually play with that. Just a quick note about the movement. So this is our code here. Very it's easy, I guess that. I just explained that just for recap. We had two pre-built function that is explained, print and var. I explained how we can actually make the variables with the local keyboard. About referencing an object, actually we can use again two ways. For example, game workspace, game is actually parent here for others, and or we can actually start from the scripts, and there are some attributes inside of every part that we can actually address them. For example, for color 3, for anything we need XYZ, we can use vector 3, and enum is a data type here, we usually use for materials, and the transparency can be checked with any value between 0 to 1. This is a programming course, but in Roblox Studio, when you actually need to move something inside of the pie, you can use the move object here. So actually you can go right, left, up, down. So this is the way actually you can interact with that. Another thing is scale. For example, you can actually make it bigger from the right side, up. Uh, Actually, you can actually play with that in different things, and you can change the scale. Okay. Uh, there's a rotate. Just let me bring it a little bit up. You can see it better now. Okay. In the rotate, you can guess we can actually rotate something. You can see we can here rotate something, or in this way, or again this way. So this is the rotation. So you can actually work, and you can actually change the, for example, stood here. For example, now it's 1.1. You can actually even off that. It means that there is not any stood. You can actually just change it in any degree you want. Okay. Uh, or for example, 45 degree. It's just changing the 45 when you actually tick on in this one. But I just keep it simple, and I like to change it any degree I like. Okay, that's all for this session. Thank you so much, and we will see you in the next lesson very soon. Bye bye.